Hello, and welcome to Plattsburgh Paranormal, the show where we investigate supernatural claims in popular places on the Plattsburgh campus. This semester, we will be taking you to some of the spookiest buildings on campus. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Maddie.
And we will be your host this evening. Last week, we visited one of the oldest dorm halls on campus. While disturbed graves and killer butlers are scary, Hawkins Hall might have it beat. But before we get into that, we have to start at the beginning.
Back in 1889, residents of Plattsburgh got together for a town meeting to talk about creating a state teaching school, or as it was called back then, a normal school. That same year, Normal Hall was built, thus establishing the Plattsburgh Normal and Training School. The impressive architecture was brought to life by the Brown brothers of Mohawk, New York. After construction, the school officially opened and held its first day of classes on September 3, 1890. The two-year program was designed to train students in education and nursing, and while there was only one building, the campus was thriving. Students at the college were able to play in organized sports, had an extensive library, played in the school band, and joined sororities. In March of 1917, the unthinkable happened, adding to the lore of Normal Hall.
According to the Plattsburgh Centennial, John Blanchard, a 60-year-old longtime janitor for the school, took his own life while on overnight duty. He reportedly inhaled toxic gas with the intent of suicide. Some people argue that he could have just been trying to use the illuminating gas for recreation. Some of the short-term effects of inhaling high levels of illuminating gas are hallucinations and a feeling of euphoria. He was discovered the next day in the janitor apartment by the morning janitor. Some sources say that 4 months prior, Blanchard unexpectedly lost his sister and was grief-stricken. People say he had been acting strange for weeks, and with this information, officials ruled his death a suicide. The school closed down for the day and canceled all classes.
Not long after the death, students and faculty reported seeing Blanchard walking the halls, just like he did while he was working. There were also sightings of him on the roof and by the bell tower doing maintenance work. It was almost like he decided to stick around.
12 years later, in the winter of 1929, a massive fire broke out in Normal Hall. Due to the high winds, flames engulfed the hall, taking the structure to the ground in under an hour. Everyone in the building was evacuated safely, and there were no deaths during the fire. When officials investigated, they were unable to find evidence that led them to the cause of the blaze. The official cause was recorded as spontaneous combustion of a boiler. Some think that the reason why there was no clear evidence of a cause is that the spirit of John Blanchard might have been the cause of the fire. Ghosts don't leave evidence behind, right?
The city scrambled to shuffle students of all ages around to find a temporary solution for the loss of Normal Hall. 4 days later, classes resumed with the training school students now sharing a building with the K-12 students. This eventually proved to be too distracting to the public school kids, and with nowhere to teach the students, the Plattsburgh Normal and Training School closed its doors.
The city of Plattsburgh planned for a rebuild, and in October of that year, the construction began. The design for a rebuild was even bigger and more extravagant than the first one. The new building was double the size and able to house everything the school currently needed and would need in the future. This included a cafeteria, administration offices, social rooms, and classrooms. Construction workers worked quickly to remove the remnants of the fire. The new building was finished in 1932. In 1955, the building was named after and dedicated to George Hawkins, one of the early principals of the Normal and Training School.
Eventually, the school joined the state university system and was renamed to the State University of Plattsburgh. They also switched from a 2-year training school to a 4-year liberal arts school. Throughout the years, the college has built multiple academic and residential buildings. While Hawkins isn't the central building on campus anymore, it is still one of the main locations for the nursing and teaching programs. Despite Normal Hall no longer standing, people still claim to see and feel the presence of John Blanchard roaming the halls. The nighttime janitors sometimes feel an eerie presence and will get uneasy for seemingly no reason at all. People also claim to hear what sounds like chains clanking in the basement and in the attic.
Have the haunting spirits of Normal Hall stuck around? Who or what started that fire in 1929? Stay tuned. When we come back, Maddie and I will be hanging around in Hawkins Hall to see what we can find. It sounds like something's like breathing over there.
Is it just me or do you still hear it?
So that was definitely a noise. Warp is a world music radio station run by students. You can take 2 classes to get involved in the Warp. First, 209, where you get introduced to the radio world, practicing running a DJ board and being on air. And then 409, later in your college career, where you get a Warp management position, like news director, program director, and etc. It's a great time to further your skill and dive deeper into the radio world.
Tune in to WARP, Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10, Plattsburgh, New York.
In a world run by entertainment, one club will defy all odds. And reveal the secrets of film. Join the revolution. Fight back. Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
So right now we're in Gilt's auditorium, and we're going to ask some questions, see if anything responds to us.
If anyone or anything is with us, we ask if you can please make your presence known. We're not here to harm anything or hurt anyone. We are only here for answers and just to see if we're not alone. So please, if you're out there, just make your presence known to us.
I kind of felt like cold after that.
Yeah, my wrist felt cold.
Not like a lot though.
I felt cold specifically on this forearm, on this side.
Is there more than one presence here?
Yeah, I hear that. Do you? Okay, you hear that too?
It's like a rumbling. It really does feel colder.
I heard a creak.
I just like heard rumbling back there.
Yeah, I heard the creak back there too.
Like I'm, in general, a sweaty person, and it does feel like colder.
My one arm feels really like cold.
I feel it like. Do you have another question?
If anyone or anything is here with us, can you please make a prominent sound?
We moved up to the balcony because this is where we were hearing most of the noises. And Maddie, if you want to talk about what you heard specifically.
So, yeah, when we were sitting down below, and we were asking our questions and just trying to be quiet and see if we feel or hear anything, I heard a lot of rumbling coming from this corner up here. So that kind of freaked me out, and then I felt pretty cold too, and then I didn't hear it, but like Alyssa, you heard the
like a rattling noise, like up in this corner too. So we figured we would come up here and maybe ask a few more questions, but I also do want to just like sit in silence just to like listen, see if we hear anything else, because like I'm guessing we might.
I still feel pretty eerie up here, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just like, maybe it's just because it has more of a creepy vibe, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel just uneasy.
And like I I like could be wrong, but like I thought I saw like shadows move, and it could have just been like us, and it could have been like the cameras and the lights and stuff.
I agree.
But I also thought that I saw shadows, so that added to like the eeriness.
When we were talking down there, I don't know why, but I felt the need to keep looking at this corner.
Yeah, just like
because
keep
I
an eye
kept
on
checking
it.
on it because, I mean, one, the light was flickering over there, so then obviously your like gaze is attracted to it, but it was just something really off about it that made me want to like keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I agree.
And now that we're up here, I'm scared.
I feel that too.
But I guess we'll see.
So if anything is up here and wants to make its presence known again, we're listening.
Do you not hear rumbling?
Oh yeah, that's like really low.
I hear something.
Yeah, it sounds like really, really low.
And it sounds like it's from almost far away.
No, yeah, like really low thunder, like far away.
I know, and that's what it sounded like the first time, just louder.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
Like, do you hear it more from that way? I hear it
Like
more
that
from
way?
that way. Like almost out that door. Like I still hear it.
I like hear it behind me for sure, but like maybe my hearing's not as good.
Bro.
Oh.
Your hearing's better.
Maybe. I want to hear the rattling noise again, but I want to hear it like up here.
I was gonna say it sounds like someone pushing a cart, but it wouldn't
Yeah,
have
it
gone
does.
on for that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe it's a janitor because we saw
Yeah.
them earlier. But if they were pushing the cart, one, wouldn't still be able to hear it, and two, probably it wouldn't be going for
Yeah,
that
true.
long.
Yeah, it's hard to know, like, because I don't know how this building works. Like, I don't know. And it's also an old building.
That's what I mean. It's haunted.
It sounds like a stampede.
Yeah, it sounds like something rolling. That's my stomach, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you have anything specifically that you want to ask?
Now I'm scared.
Oh.
Yes, okay.
You don't have to. Like, we don't have to.
I feel like we should address the rolling noise to it.
Okay. How do you want to do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just, because that's what's concerning me and making me slightly nervous. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me or do you still hear it?
Oh, yeah, no, I've heard it consistently since
Okay.
we sat down.
Okay. Do you think it's like just like a vent or something? I don't know. I want it to be a ghost, but I also don't want it to be a ghost.
I'm surprised that we haven't, like, heard anything closer up here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think we should go to our next location.
Yeah, maybe once we go in the hallways and something will get closer, we'll hear it more.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa went down to the sub-basement and is gonna check that out just to save some time. We split up. But, I'm going to walk through some of these hallways right now, and I'm honestly really, really freaked out. Because one, we just got the rest of the lights turned off, so it's completely dark. And two, the janitor that usually works in this building, and he's in charge of shutting off all the lights at night, at one point took a picture of a dark hallway and then was looking back at it, and it was like a figure of someone walking towards him. And then a different time he shut off the light and was walking through the hall and just securing everything, and he felt like all the hair on the back of his neck stand up, and he like ran to the elevator. So I'm actually really, really nervous we're gonna find something, and I'm alone. So, pray. Okay, let's go.
While Maddie's upstairs investigating the rumbling noise that we heard in the auditorium, we decided to come down to the basement and unexpectedly landed ourselves in the sub-basement. So previously, I didn't know that there even was a sub-basement in Hawkins. So, like you can hear, there's like water moving through pipes. There's like a lot of movement and noise down here. It's very creepy, as you can see behind me. Like, it looks like old stuff is just thrown down here. I really like want to look through it afterwards. For right now, I just like want to get a feel for the room. So I just like want to sit for a minute and like listen.
Oh, that's creepy. I'm scared. Okay. Okay, once we get to the middle of this hallway, I will stop for a minute and just kind of see if we can hear anything. I feel cold. If anyone is here, can you please make yourself known? I'm not here to hurt anyone or anything. I'm just here for information. Please make yourself known with a sound or a movement of any kind.
It really sounds like so creepy down here. I don't like it. As soon as we came down here, I'm a very emotional person. And I just like had the instinct to cry. Like I felt like choked up. I just don't like it because I didn't even know this place existed. And it's very like stuffy down here. And I know it's not like, I know it's not breathing logically, but it sounds like something's like breathing over there occasionally. I know like logically it's not breathing, but it sounds like it. That sounds like breathing. Like I hear it more from like over that way. If there is a presence down here, if you wanted to make yourself known by tapping on something or moving something, can't hear anything like specific to you. I kind of want to get up and walk around.
What's that?
So that was definitely a noise. I'm just gonna wait a minute here and see if I hear it again. I'm nervous.
Oh. Okay, whose collection is this? I just want to know. Like, So this is all fire equipment. I just find it really interesting that there's so much fire equipment down here, like literally hordes of it. And this place burned down in 1929. So, I mean, at least we upped our fire safety standards, but geez.
This is back when we started. We heard that one noise. I didn't hear anything again after that, so I think I'm gonna try to just like sit down, center myself again, and stay like here and very quiet and see if anything happens. So hopefully that'll work a little more. My name is Maddie, and I'm not here to hurt anyone or anything at all. If anyone is with me right now, please make yourself known. You can do so with a sound or general movement. Again, I'm not here to cause any issues or any harm. Okay, I don't hear anything, so hopefully Alyssa will be back soon. And once I meet up with her, we can figure out what our next move is gonna be. And it just got out of hand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm thinking it was a student.
Yeah, I was really anxious going in there for sure.
So TEAC is Tau Kappa Epsilon. It's a national fraternity,
It's one of the biggest in the nation right now. We're about 37 guys. We do our best to serve the community that we are a part of, and we really like to give back. In my opinion, what makes Teak stand out is just the amount of leadership skills that you will develop as a Teak. As time progresses, as you go through the rush process, you realize just like how genuine the people are in this organization.
Better men for a better world. Rush Teak.
My name is Jim Sherman. I'm the Assistant Director of Community Living. Our community advocates on each hall. They do programs, they are mentors on the floor, they help build community. They also help keep the building safe and secure. In addition to that, as I mentioned before, we also oversee community government. Community governments are in each hall, which give the power to our residents to make some decisions on programming and that sort of stuff.
Hey, I'm Bailey Delerba. I'm a Zumba instructor here at the Fitness Center. I teach every Thursday from 9:15 to 10:15. Zumba is a dance, fitness, cardio workout. It's a lot of fun. You should come check it out.
Welcome back. My name is Megan and I'm your investigation analysis host. I'm here with Maddie and Alyssa talking about their finds in the legendary Hawkins Hall. Hi guys, how are you tonight?
Good. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. So how was it in Hawkins Hall? I heard you guys went into the theater. I don't know about you guys, but like I kind of find like empty theaters like ominous and creepy. So like tell me like how was that for you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we started in the Guilds Theater, and first we kind of went up on stage to try to feel like just the presence of the room and everything going on there. And then we sat down in just the audience seats, and we kept hearing rumbling from the upper right behind us, so that definitely freaked us out. And it's hard to explain, but we felt something. Like, it felt like cold in spots, and like it just like overall like gave me a bad feeling.
Oh no, yeah. I was really anxious going in there for sure.
So you guys definitely felt like a presence in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think so. Probably more than one, honestly.
Did you guys like have any like, symptoms? Like sometimes people like have like the hair stand up at the back of their neck, or like they get goosebumps, or like, cold chills and cold spots and stuff like that. Did you guys feel any of that?
Cold chills, like cold spots. Probably.
Yeah, I was cold in some spots, and then no, I think it was more just your body reacting to the fact that you're scared. So like your adrenaline's pumping more because you're trying to sit there and be still and quiet, but obviously we're scared that something is there because we keep hearing stuff and we know no one's really in the building anymore.
Yeah.
So was it like, it was different from your last investigation from last time? That was like different for you, like different kind of feeling?
Yeah, I mean, both were scary. I felt a little less nervous going into the auditorium. Personally, I don't know about you.
No, I feel the same way.
But like the attic from last time was a lot creepier than the auditorium for me, just because I mean like the difference in like people are in the auditorium all the time, and like whereas in the attic like they're not. So like that's my opinion on that, but I don't know if you have a different one.
No, I feel pretty much the same way. I think some parts were definitely creepier in Hawkins than in McDonough. But the overall tone, I think it's because we did McDonough first, and that was like our very first investigation.
Yeah.
That we were more nervous and scared.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah, so I think it's just because we had never done that before, and this one not that we really knew what we were doing, but we had an idea and how to approach certain situations.
Yeah. So like, kind of offset a little bit when you were there. Did anything ever happen like with the equipment or anything? Have you guys experienced that like at all yet? Like any trouble with like the cameras or like mics or anything so far?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we've had
I
any
never even really thought of that.
Yeah, neither have I. That's like a really good question because neither have I. I don't think we had any
Not that I
technical
knew of.
difficulties, and I was thinking after our first investigation, like maybe after we reviewed footage and like listening back to the audio, we would be able to like hear something, and like I'm still waiting for that to happen. Maybe, maybe it will eventually. I don't think it like hasn't yet, and we haven't had any like technical difficulties at all, really, that I can remember.
That's pretty interesting, actually. You know, I'm hoping maybe something does kind of come along, and like
No,
when it does, it's gonna.
I've been waiting. It'll be inconvenient, but I'm still waiting for it.
But yeah, so there was a stage. Obviously, did you guys go up there and do like a little number or anything?
A number?
Like a little tap dance or something?
I wish. No. Do you want to talk about how you felt on the stage?
Honestly, I think I was less scared than you were, but I
really
not to be rude, but
No,
just like
it's
in
okay.
general, I didn't really feel anything on the stage. Like I felt normal, but just in general, I feel like you were more freaked out because you don't like standing under the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
So you would just
That's
like
true.
were more freaked out in general, which would just make you more freaked out about everything.
Yeah.
Whereas I just didn't really care.
Yeah, and we do all these investigations like in the complete dark. The only lighting we have is lighting like lights on top of the cameras, and like they're bright in our faces and stuff. But other than that, we're in a pitch dark room. And I don't know about you, but I don't like the dark. So that adds to the scariness factor. Even if there's like no presences, even if there's no noises, anything like that, it's still scary because you're in the dark and you're just, it's like silence.
And it's like midnight.
Oh, yes. This investigation was also a lot later than the last one, because the last one was like anywhere from like 8 to 10 was like.
Yeah, I think we started
when-
around 9. This one we
Yeah.
started and got like going at 11.
We weren't done until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it
we
was
were
like
there until
prime.
2.
It was like prime scary time. So prime scary time.
Scary time.
But
Spooky season.
yeah. So that definitely like added to it, and
Yeah.
I already have like a fear of like stage lights. So in my mind, it wasn't that something was gonna like malfunction. If there were spirits and if they were upset by us being there, what's gonna stop one of them from dropping a light on my head? That's what I was thinking, and that's what was going through my mind. So that's probably why I was appeared more scared than you.
Yeah, so she was just generally more nervous up on stage. But overall, I mean, I think we both kind of agreed that we didn't feel as much on stage as we did in the audience and on the balcony. The balcony was the worst.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree with that.
So you said it was like pitch black, but there is usually like a ghost light like kept backstage. You guys went backstage and stuff, right?
We didn't really go backstage, but they had the main like the ghost lamp on the like in the middle of the normal stage, yeah.
Yeah, and Maddie kept asking to turn it off. I was like, do not turn that. I'm superstitious.
I know, but my thing is we're there to find ghosts. What's gonna attract the ghosts?
I thought the light attracted the ghosts. So
I thought the lights kind of kept the ghosts away. Because
honestly, we
it's
were,
like a
we were
nightlight.
mixed up on our lures.
On our
so
stories.
I didn't know what the truth was. So I was like, we probably shouldn't mess with it anyway. But
yeah, I mean we didn't end up turning it off or anything, but I don't know. I think if you're there to find ghosts, do what you can to find ghosts.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the most that we got was up in the balcony, but other than that,
Well, the hallways.
Yes, but that's not in the auditorium.
No.
Yeah.
So do you guys believe, you said you believe there's definitely some type of like presence there. Do you think it could have been like the janitor, or like what kind of presence do you think might have been there?
I think possibly. Well, just because I didn't feel anything malicious.
Yeah.
So if there was any presence there, I do think it was just like a regular spirit, nothing demonic. I think it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a possibility, especially because if that was where he spent most of his time, why wouldn't he still be there? But, I mean, I'm not one to rule out anything else either. I feel the same way. I definitely didn't think it was anything demonic. I mean, yes, I was obviously scared and we heard things, but I never had the feeling that something was going to try to hurt me in the sense. So, but no, I think there's things in there. If not
For
one,
sure.
then like more than one.
Oh, for sure.
But at least one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like slightly off topic, but like still in with the theme and stuff. There was a fire there like many years ago and stuff, and like there's like no actual answer for it and stuff. What do you guys like think? Like I know you heard like you said you had like 2 different lures you heard. So did you hear like anything different, like each of you, or anything about that?
I like didn't even know about the fire until this investigation, until we were told. Like I didn't know anything until we started investigating and like researching for the show.
Yeah, I didn't know it had burned down, but I did kind of start thinking about that after we did the investigation and after we found out that they didn't really know the cause of the fire. And I was thinking about different things that could have happened, because yes, they say it was set by like the ghost of him or whatever, but it also said, like, from the research we found, it said that they got everyone that was in the building out safely and all of the students. So I'm thinking it was a student.
That's interesting.
And I mean, like, obviously we don't know, but that would just make sense for either it to be an accident or even like a student accident. But because like a student wouldn't really come forward about that.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone got out safely and they're like blaming this ghost. But I mean, I feel like a lot of ghost stories, whether they're true or not, like when they're not true, they get started by people not wanting to own up to certain things. So they blame it on the paranormal.
True. That's very true.
So, I mean, I'm thinking it could be a number of things, but that is one thing that came to my mind. And I was like, maybe it was a student, like, trying to, I don't know, do something, and it just got out of hand.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It
could be.
That is honestly such a good theory. I feel like someone should, like, look into
Maddie's
that.
new
That's, like, really
conspiracy
good.
theory. You
Like,
own that.
Thank you.
Like, there could be something there, like, and no one really thought about it, because back then they'd be like, I don't know who did it. It's ghosts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Plattsburgh Paranormal. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and make sure you tune in next week for another Plattsburgh investigation. You can stream our episodes on YouTube, and you can follow us on Instagram at Plattsburgh Paranormal. I'm Megan.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Maddie.
Have a good night, everyone.